What is going on, everyone? This is Jay Bryan,
And I'm Jerry Washington.
and welcome to the Attention Span Podcast. Man, so today we have a great episode. I actually have some amazing things that have been happening, some big thoughts that have occurred to me just in my own personal life. And Jared, I want to talk to you about it. There's a couple of things really. So we're actually going to get started with sorry about that. Check something on the recording. It looks like it's all good. I just want to get started with what has our attention. So, Jared, what has your attention right now? Anything major going on? Any life updates?
Uh, Pretty much just working on myself and stuff, getting back from being sick. And so now I'm feeling a lot better. I'm just trying to, keep things steady, keep things on a steady pace and keep my mind in the right spot, to improve.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I know that being sick can take a lot out of you. So I definitely get it. I had a few weeks, no, it's a few months ago now. I had, no, actually January. I know it was in January. I had COVID, and um, you know, the crazy thing is my breathing wasn't too hit, it wasn't hit too hard. But my but other symptoms hit me really hard, like the fatigue and just being so tired and the fever and like the loss of appetite. It was a bunch of stuff that happened. And then the crazy thing was after I was better, my lungs then got hit. So I could tell they weren't where they were before I had it. So it was crazy. So I don't know. Um, but I definitely get it that recovering from sickness. So I actually went to a recent get together, if you will, with some friends and just some other couples and families and things like that at a local place here, so a local family's home, and did some like Easter festivities and things like that. And we were talking, and we were talking about friendships and like our social circles. That would seem to be like a big theme then. And we were talking about how it's crazy that people expect certain things out of their friends. They expect their friends to react a certain way or not react, to be there for them or not be there for them. They expect their friends to be at a certain level or they'll drop them, or they maybe won't be friends. They might just drop them to colleague level or acquaintance level, things like that. And it's a whole mixing pot of things when it comes to our social circle, our friendships. You have people that are like me personally. I divide people into, I have them in tiers. T-I as in Tiers. I don't have them crying. I have them in tiers, levels. And I have what's called my tier one friends, and these are made up by me. So you can use them if you would like. Tier one friends are friends who I feel like I can call in the middle of the night. They'll drop what they're doing and drive, even if it's across a different state, and help me out or fly. They'll come help me out. Those are tier one friends. Tier two friends are people that I would talk to. I'm friends with. We have good conversation. We can talk about different topics and things like that. But I wouldn't necessarily just be my 100% self around them. I wouldn't share with them all the deep stuff that I think about, being more specific. Um, we would have deep conversations, but not about everything. With my tier one friends, I can talk about literally anything with them, even if it's some kind of left field, out of this world stuff. Because hey, it's all just ideas at the beginning of the day, right? We talk through them and flesh things out and get to see, where we stand and get to shape ourselves and our belief system and things like that. But that's a that's for a whole nother podcast. Then I have what's called tier three friends. These are like just colleagues, acquaintances. Um, Oftentimes coworkers will start in this category. That may elevate to a different tier, but people I don't talk to as much. And rarely do I talk to a tier three friend outside of their regular environment that I work with them in or interact with them in. So it's a coworker, oftentimes I won't talk to them outside of work as much. You know, we might have a function every once in a while, but um, same thing with, let's say, it's another great example. Okay, so I know if I go to certain places regularly, like for example, I go to um, oh, for example, my daughter's school, there are other parents there that I know, and I say hello to them, but we're acquaintances, we're acquainted, we know each other, but I wouldn't necessarily call them, look at them in the directory and call them and say, hey, let's hang out and get coffee or anything. At least not all of them, you know. So those are tier three friends. Um, Jared, do you divide your friends up like that, or just put them in like categories, or you just have people that are friends, not friends? How do you look at
Yeah,
that? Your social
I
circle?
don't I don't divide them up. I definitely got friends that I just, you know what I'm saying, just generally keep around. And I guess I just go off the same criteria. It's just not tiered up, you know what I'm saying? Like as
Yeah,
far as like, like if people show me that they're loyal and respect and the same vice versa, if I'm showing the same thing and we got a good rapport, good connection, then that's everything to me. And to be honest, the term friend itself is hard for me to just call a lot of people my friend because friend is like it's the highest form of
yeah.
it's the highest form of kinship. You know what I'm saying? Like being somebody's like connection. So I mean, I could probably name on my hand my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like one hand, how many friends I have. But as
Am
far as
I am I on your list of friends? I'm just kidding.
yeah, yeah, you're on my
I'm
list,
kidding.
man. But acquaintances is like that's a whole different
I made it.
story.
I made it in life. Okay, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Acquaintances is just like you know what I'm saying. It's like people that you really that they have their potential, like you see it, but we haven't progressed past that. And I got a lot of people that I'm acquaintances with. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will further kind of piggyback off that. I actually further divide my friends into they're in tiers, but they're also in like categories within those tiers. And they can be in more than one. So it can be there's business, there's social. So we just hang out, socially. There are spiritual, I think business, social, spiritual, career, like work. That could be combined with business depending on time in my life. Um, yeah, so those are like the categories of friend, and they could be in multiple. So I have some tier one friends that are um like spiritual. We talk a little business, we talk some social, mostly spiritual and social, but we have business as well. And those are tier one friends. I feel like I can call them. And I'm with you, Jared. That's what I would consider, quote unquote. Those what I consider like highest level friends. My tier two friends, I still consider them friends, but it's not necessarily the same level, if you will. And same thing, business, social, whatever. And then there's a time and a place, right, for social, talking business. You can't be in business mode your whole, the whole day. You can't be in social mode the whole day. You got stuff to do. Uh, and of course, my family, I don't even include them really on my friend. They're my family. So, I mean, that's not even a thing, even though I am friends with my wife. Um, Not necessarily friends with my children, but I do love them, and
You
I'm
default
a
tier one.
huh. Yeah,
You
they're like
default.
default. They're tier zero. They're the best, the highest ever. So that didn't count. But I'm talking about just friends. So yeah, man, it's big, and the what really got me thinking about that and how that got my attention, Jared, was that the expectations of the people had. And it's okay to have expectations of your friends, right? Like I expect them to be at this income level. I expect them to be from here or want to live here. Or like, for example, I expect, I expect at least my tier two and tier one friends to have goals. I have goals. So I expect them to have goals. Now, if they don't, if they aren't like super goal oriented people like me, does that mean I'm gonna drop it? Like, no, I ain't about to hang out with you. Heck no. Doesn't mean that. But I just hope and pray that they do have goals. And I have challenged a couple of my friends to go after a goal that they said they wanted to do, you know? So I have a friend, and I don't know if he'll ever be on the podcast. I don't know if he'll ever listen to it. He'd have to come back to episode 3 to listen. But I have a friend, we'll just call him Will. And my wife's walking by, so she probably knows this gentleman. But Will told me that he wanted to be a physician's assistant, but he wouldn't finish his application for PA school. So we were chilling at Will's bachelor party on a cruise. I stopped him because I realized, oh, he still hasn't applied. I stopped him, like in passing. I was like, hey man. I said, listen to me. And this is what I said. Now, this this is not gonna sound weird. This is gonna sound weird, but this is what I said. I said, listen, I said, do you still want to get into PA school? He said, yes. If he said no, I would have dropped it. He said yes. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna challenge you. I'll give you 3 months to get your application in for PA school. Okay. If you don't, you're trash. That's what I told him. Now, again, that's something between me and him. He didn't take it offensively, you know. And he was like, dang, man, I'm trash. If I don't do it. I'm like, yeah, you're trash if you don't do it. Now, I'm going to check back in 3 months on this. If you accept this challenge, I'll follow up. I'm not going to check in on the way, but I will check in at 3 months. If you tell me that if you say I have not applied to PA school, at that point, I will never say anything about it again. I promise you. But if you still want to go, I challenge you 3 months. And, you know, I'm not gonna tell you the rest of the story, but needless to say, I will challenge a friend to go after their goals that they set, not my goals, their goals. So yeah, man, I just really wanted to uh talk about that. They have, and other people have other expectations as well, you know, like Jared, you have some expectations of your friends. Like I know you mentioned loyalty. That's an example. Like you expect your friends to be loyal, right?
Loyalty. I expect them to. I expect them to want things.
Okay.
Because
There we
ambition
go.
is contagious, and you notice that the people that you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with people that don't got ambitions and they're not really looking to improve or go up, they'll just by nature drag you down. And it's not like it's something mean or something they try to do. But I've seen it in myself and I've seen it in people around me. Like if I get around people or I'm in a rut where I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, it rubs off on people around me because all these people know you, you know what I'm saying? They see you every day. So they know when you're doing things that you say you're going to do and they know when you're not. And when you're not, it kind of shows, it subconsciously says to them, hey, this is okay to not do this because this dude who I'm cool with is not doing it. And I've settled with him being my friend, So I think ultimately, overall, people need to get, you have to match people's level, you have to match people's level. And, you choose your friends wisely for that specific reason. Now, we don't always have a hand in who our friends are, but we have to really be conscious of who we hang around and who we associate ourselves with for that reason, in my opinion. Because I'm real big on that, that you are the average of the 5 people you hang around. And that's been my motto for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I take heed to it myself because even I would expand it out to like my family and my kids because you know the last thing I want to do is rub off bad genes or bad things on my kids because I'm just like, well, it's okay for me to skip this one day, but it's very important that not only you, but you, like you said, challenge and encourage the people around you to go to another level.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I I definitely feel you on that, man. So for anyone listening, from our listeners out there, when I want to talk about a few just things to think about, at least three, between 3 and 7. things because there's so many. I want to talk about three things I know that have empowered us to kind of craft our social circles where they are. Um, I'm assuming that you're happy with your social circles right now, Jared. I know you probably, I mean, of course, we're all probably open to even upgrading even more, but that's just spirit wanting to express itself. That's that's just us wanting to grow naturally as humans. That's natural to want to upgrade anything. That's fine. Not talking about that. But I'm talking about, are you satisfied with your social circle right now?
Absolutely.
Pretty good. Okay, cool. So me too. I am. So I want to talk about how to get to the point where you're in a satisfactory social circle. Not saying that you don't want to meet new people, network, whatever, but we want to talk about how to get to that point and some things to think about. So first things first. First things first. If you're wanting to pay more attention to your social circle, look at who you're around right now. First and foremost, you can't you can't get to a satisfactory social circle or set of friends unless you look at where you're starting. You have to have a starting line. If you went to start a race and they were like, all right, everybody line up on the starting line, but there's nothing painted on the ground, you're just walking around aimlessly. You're just walking around like, okay, well, where so you have to know where you're starting. So look at your friends that you have. Some maybe you want to continue to hang around. Some you may say, well, there's a lot of stuff they do at this point in my life is not best for me to be around that. I'm just going to, fall back from hanging out with them. Some people, and I know for some of you, if you have a similar personality type to me, it is not easy to just cut someone off, potentially hurt their feelings. They're wondering where you went, people that depended on you at least for that social interaction, not necessarily for other things, but just that social interaction. They're used to y'all's relationship. If that's hard for you, instead of just cutting them off, think about limiting association. So maybe once, twice a year, hang out with them. That's fine, whatever works. But look at where you are now. Look at where you are now. Look at your friends. You can write it out on paper because the dullest pencil is better than the sharpest mind. Dullest pencil is better than the sharpest mind. Write it down if you need to. Write out your list of friends and put uh, continue to hang out with next to each one. Limit association or stop hanging out with. That's a starting point. All right. Second thing I'll recommend, now I'll let Jared take over, is I would then do the same thing on another sheet of paper, except I would write down instead of a list, I'll write down the type of people that I want to hang out with. Write down their traits. Are they goal oriented? Are they driven? I actually have, uh, uh, is it written? Yeah, it is written. I actually have a handwritten, what I call it a life script. Got it from a guy named Bob Proctor. Rest in peace to him. Not getting paid to mention his name or anything. I'm not even an affiliate of Bob Proctor's, but a life script. I have it in my journal, and it has a list of different things of how you want your life to be. So that's friendship category, social circle. I have written some things that I would like to see in all of my tier one friends that I hang around with the most and spend the most time with. It's a list of things, specific things. Do that. Write down what you want in a friend. What do you want in somebody you hang out with, that you spend your time with, that you cannot get back? What do you want in a person like that? Write that down, knowing that every second you spend with this person, you can't spend it with your children. Knowing that every second you spend with them, you can't spend it with your family. Knowing that you'll never get that time back. You're spending this time with this person. What do you want out of this person? What do you want them to be like? You want them to give off good vibes, good energy. That's fine. You want them to make $1 million. That's fine. You want them to want to go to conferences. That's fine. That's something on my list. Like, I want to hang around people who want to go to personal development conferences because I want to go and we can go together. Um, so they want to start business. They want to get a promotion in their career, whatever it might be. Write it down. Write it down. And then once you write it down, I want you to look for where those people would probably be. You're probably going to do some guesswork, but where would somebody like that be? Maybe that might be at a conference. Maybe it's time for you to pack up and drive to a conference that's coming up, a personal development conference. They're probably in the audience, you know? And of course, you don't have to start off, you want to be friends. They're going to be like, what? No, but you can just, for real, but you can at least start meeting those people that you have your information written down about. So number one, where you are or your current friends, assess your current friends. And number two, write down what you want out of another friend. And I guess number three, out of a new friend. And then I guess number three would be go where you think those new friends are. All right, Jared, anything? Any thoughts or suggestions on like building a good social circle, that satisfactory social circle?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of what he said. Definitely go to those places by any means necessary, because I think your environment is probably the number one determining factor in your success, just as much as anything else. So you definitely need to like get around people that's gonna boost morale and boost your goals and boost your thoughts, because all that matters. All that matters in an instance. Of trying to do better, trying to be better. You have to get around people that want to boost your morale and boost things. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's important to surround yourself with people that's hawks. That's going after it, going to get it every time, and continue to do that. And that's my best advice on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you all do those things, please let us know. Keep us posted on if your attention right now is on building a better social circle or building a satisfactory social circle. Maybe you don't have many friends. Maybe you just have one. That's okay. You can do it. Take those steps. Number one, write down where you are now with your current friends. If you have none, zero friends. That's understandable. Understandable. Because everybody's not your friend. Okay. And that's okay. That is okay. I promise you. You really need all of your energy and to devote to what you want to devote it to and to the people that you want to devote that energy to. So it doesn't matter if you have zero friends right now. Okay. Write that down. That's step one. Step two, write down what you want out of a friend. What do you want out of a friend? They're going to want you to be a certain way, or they're going to want some certain traits out of you in order to form that friendship. What do you want out of a friendship? And then step three, go where those people are. Whatever all those positive traits you wrote, find some conferences. They might be at the library. Maybe they're big readers. I don't know. But go where those people are. Put yourself there in the position. Put yourself in the way of that bowling ball. Step into the bowling lane. If you step into the front of a bowling ball in the bowling lane, you're gonna get hit because you're in a bowling lane. The bowling ball's coming down that thing. So these people are at a certain place. They're in a certain lane. They're at a conference. They're at a library. They're at church. I don't know. Whatever your criteria are, you need to be standing in that lane. Okay, so you can meet them. It's almost like you're meeting a woman or a man. So you need to be where they are. Be where they are. Okay. So that's number three. All right. Announcements. Let's go. So, Jared, what's been going on? Magnolia Lawn Solutions. Talk to the people.
Pretty much just getting better, working on the business.
Yeah, speak it to the mic a little bit more.
Pretty much
Important.
just getting better, working on the business, trying to get everything streamlined. And it's pretty much the same thing as last week, just building everything up and taking it a day at a time.
Nice. And always remember, where can people find you at? Tell them the website and where you're based as well. So people from, other countries or other parts of the country won't be trying to.
Well, we're based out of Mississippi, and you can find us at www.magnolialawnms.com. And also our cell phone is 601-249-9140.
Very good. Central Mississippi, right? More so
Central Mississippi.
Okay.
Central
Okay.
Mississippi.
So if you in the 228 area code or 662, we talk about the 601. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. Central Mississippi though. Central Mississippi. Cool. So for me, you all, just if you would like me to come in and work with your organization, your team, your corporate trainers, I work with corporate trainers, I work with educators, anyone who really works with learners. I'm a learner engagement specialist. So you can reach out to me. You can look me up on www.jbrianspeaks.com. Again, that's www.jbrianspeaks.com. Again, that's www.jbrianspeaks.com. JAYBRIAN speaks.com. Um, you can reach me to check for speaking availability. You can reach me or my booking manager. You can reach us at info@jbrianspeaks.com. Again, that's info@jbrianspeaks.com. One more time, that's info@jbrianspeaks.com. If you go onto the website, you'll see testimonials. You can also check out my YouTube channel. I have all kinds of learner engagement content if you're wanting to work on that. So look forward to working with you all and hearing from you. If you want to talk more about it, reach out. And with that, we're about to get out of here. Again, I'm Jay Bryan.
Jared Washington.
And thank you all for coming to the Attention Span Podcast. Y'all have a great one.